Hey, welcome back to Tanya. We have a lot to cover. Today is Thursday, May 2nd. We're gonna start with our last class was Sunday. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yud K, Vav K. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days we're gonna cover. And I'm going to jump to it right now. So at the end of Sunday, we talked about basically the idea that the body, the godly soul, is clothed in a body, an animal soul, and due to that reality, there's the godly soul does not experience, and the person, I guess, does not experience attachment to Hashem. He doesn't experience a connection of his godly soul to God due to the fact that the body is interfering, and therefore you have to work. So Sunday's piece said that the ability for the yid to attach his soul to Hashem has to do with the fact that it is nourishing. It nourishes from Moshe Rabbeinu. It nourishes from the soul of our teacher Moshe. Only since the soul has clothed itself in a body, it needs a big work in order to feel that attachment and to be attached to Hashem. What is the work? One thing that we spoke about on Sunday is to have reflections of returning to Hashem, hirei tshuva, thoughts of return, and recognizing that we did things to distance ourselves from God, and therefore we think about returning to Hashem. And that's the idea of crushing the body, is by being reflective and having hirhuri tshuva, thoughts of tshuva, ma'umek alei, from the depths of the heart, like we're going to talk about. Now, that was the end of Sunday. Now we're going to jump into Monday, and we're going to take it from there. Again, so we're discussing how to have that attachment to Hashem. And the ability to have that attachment comes from the fact that the soul nurtures from the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu. And the first way is to think about doing tshuva, returning to Hashem. And the second way, says today's Tanya, and the second means by which to make that attachment to Hashem as a function of nourishing his soul from Moshe Rabbeinu. The second is the exertion of the soul to reveal the powers of the soul, that the service of exerting one's thought not be burdensome to it, to delve into and reflect upon the greatness of Hashem for a long and uninterrupted period. For this measure of time necessary to immerse oneself in a godly concept in order to arouse love or fear of Hashem is not the same for every soul. So what are we saying? The second method of arriving at of having das, a connection, das Hashem, knowledge of Hashem, or a unity, a connection with Hashem, is to think for a long time on the greatness of Hashem. In the lesson of the Tanya, Hashem is the second way. He has a nefesh, the exertion of the soul. Again, we are studying the Tanya online from Chabad.org daily study with the English and Hebrew translation here, with included in it some of the peers from Rabbi Weinberg within, and we're going to read the Hebrew of the Alter Rebbe's actual words here. So the second means, as we said, is Yigias HaNefesh, the exertion of the soul. Shelo Hichbad Aleha Ha'avoda Liagia Makashavta La'amik it's the exertion of the soul that it's not heavy upon him. It's not heavy upon him the service to exert one's thoughts upon the greatness of Hashem for a long time. One's thought to delve into, and contemplate with Gdula Savaya and the greatness of Hashem, Shah Gdola, Ritsufa, a long time and uninterrupted time. Kishur Sha'azu, the amount of time that we're talking about, Eino Shaveh B'Kol Nefesh, is not the same for every person. That's not the same for every person. Yesh zaka betiva. There is this the type of a soul which is refined in its nature. Shemiyad shnit shembonenet bigdulos havaya. That immediately when this soul thinks about the greatness of Hashem, Yagia Aleha Hayira Upakadavaya will come upon him right away. Fear and dread of Hashem. He's going to think about Hashem and he will fear Hashem pretty quickly because the soul is already refined. It has a certain refinement to it already. Like it says in Shulchan Aruch, the code of Jewish law, Orach Chaim, the section of Orach Chaim, um, Siman Aleph, the first chapter, the first section, quote, Keshit boinin adam she'amelech hagadol melech hamakri amlachim hakadosh baruch hu, that when a person will consider, will think about, contemplate that the king, the great king, that the great king, the king of kings, the holy and blessed be he, asher malak kol haaretz kavodo, that the entire earth is filled with his glory, his glory. Only made a love stands upon him.